Hello and welcome back. In the previous video we learned about how to assess the data requirements, how to link the data decision making points with the data variables which can be numerical or categorical, and then the collections of the data. In this video we will be learning about the data processing and cleaning, how and what we do with the data. And then following this slide we will be looking at a Excel example of the data, raw data. So the process applied for cleaning the data is, first thing we need to ensure is make sure the data is complete. Completeness of the data is very important to make sure we make a right decision. So how you check the completeness, we will look at it in a bit. Then we need to clear it from the duplications, because the transaction can be duplicated by accident by the system or by the duplicate surveys. Then you have to truncate unnecessary data which may be collected through the ERP or through the website. Individual transactions must be matched with the totals of reported, especially in terms of financial data where you want to segment the product sales into different regions. The total of all the regions must tally with the total of the revenue which is reported in financial statements, to make sure we have collected everything and we are not leaving out anything. Then the textual data spell checkers we must use so that we can fix the mistyped words, because when we are making the pivot tables, when we are making the Excel graph, charts, that the systems they treat the different type words as a different words, so that then you will get the wrong information. So the spelling of the data, of the textual data, is very important for us as well. So now let's look at the sample of the data which I have collected. So this data is belong to a lending club website which gives loan from one person to another person. This is for the period of 2018, some part of 2018. It has total rows of around 39,000 transactions. Some transactions were verified where the loan was successful, some loans were not, some applications were not successful. Some of these loans has been fully paid, or some of these are being processed, and then some of they have a reason of why they take the loan. So in this data, from this data we want to understand the how many peoples are acquiring the loan, for what purposes, are they paying the loan in full, what is the default rate, from what country they are identifying the date, what country is from what state they are taking the data, and how long it takes to and what are their employment status, who are their employers, how long they are taking the debt, and what is the average interest rate that is prevalent in the market. So to know these things, we must know, okay, there are some columns when we were talking about the cleanliness of the data. So first thing we must remove the unnecessary data. So what is unnecessary data? For example, this column, there is nothing in this column, so we must remove this column. So just to control minus, select the row, control minus, and then you can control minus again. So this is the loan amount. Okay, this loan amount is, yes, we need this because this is our requirement. This is funded amount. So this was loan requested and this was loan funded. There can be difference, so we can leave this data for the time being. Then this is the funded amount invoiced. So there are some bank transactions where we have it different. So this data is probably not relevant for us, because this is the amount actually disbursed, so we can ignore this amount. It's not necessary. So control space bar, we select the column, control minus, we delete. Term, yes we need. Interest rate, yes we need. Installments, okay, what are the installments, yes we need. The grade of loan, yes we need. Subgrade we need. Employer title we need. Employee length we need. Home ownership, yes we need this data. Their annual income, yes we need this. Verification status of the income or other information, yes we need this. Then the issue date, so the loan issue, issue of the loan date, we need this information as well. The loan status we need. Then the payment plan, this one is the not so required because it's all n, so this is not relevant for our decision making in any case, so we just remove this data as well. Now URL, not so important, take it out, sorry. So we can take out the URL as well. Then the description, description is the why they took the loan. So let's say in this case borrower is want to take the loan for upgrading their business technology, and the purpose here is different from the credit card. The title, maybe the what kind of amortization or what kind of things that they have. I'm not sure what it is this, because I just don't read the data. This is zip code, yes we need this because this is the zip code. And then this is the state, yes we need because we want to know which state it is. DTI, we are not very sure about this, but this is not, seems not important for us. This data is also not important because this is detailed description. We may not need this information at this point of time, but we don't delete it because we may need in future. Address, yes we need, this one we don't need, okay, so we take it out. Then we have declining 2 years, this one is we don't need the data. The earliest credit line, when was the last last credit which was given to this customer from their website, so or from any other resources. This is important so that we know how frequently people are taking the loan. Then inquiry, is there any, how many number of times they have inquired in the last few months. This may be yes, information is required months before the last, month since last. Delinquishment means since how often the loan was disbursed, probably the last time. And then this information probably is not important, month since last record. This column is almost empty, so we can delete this. So we can go on and on and on like this, and we delete. There are so many data, so many columns here which are not necessary for us, which we can all delete because they are not relevant for our decision making points. So this is how we clean the data. Now how we, this is unnecessary, removing the unnecessary data. Now how do we check the duplicacy in data? So first thing what we need to do in this data book is convert it into a tabular format. How we convert into tabular format? In the Excel, we just need to place the cursor on the table and then press Ctrl T. So the Excel will ask, okay, this Excel will auto select the range of the data which is correct, and then we just hit OK. Now in Excel, what it has done is it has converted the data into a tabular format. Why we need to develop into a tabular format is because then for example, if after this we need to add any data, then let's say we add any further line, just say for 300, so it will add it, count it as a row, it will expand. So in future when we are actually using this range for any of our analysis and we want to add any data to this table, it will be automatically converted and and taken care in our analysis. It will not be, we don't need to remodify or adjust the details again. Okay, so this is on how we clean it. And now we want to check the duplicacy of the data, right? So we go to the data tab. Here you can see a lot of advanced features are here. Here we are using Microsoft 365, which some of you may not be having, but there are certain errors, certain options here. For example, like click on when we hover our mouse here, it says remove duplicates from the sheet. So when we hit it, it will see, okay, how you want to identify what is a duplicate for you specifically. So we can select all from all the ranges, so there will be all the columns. So if there is a duplicate column in duplicate data in in any of these, in all of these columns, it will remove. So the system says no duplicate values were found, means there is no duplicate records existing in this table, but this is how we can identify the duplicates. Okay, we will be looking at it into a much more details when we will do this exercise together in later during the course. I will continue with other steps for this time. Thank you very much for listening.